Suburban Sentinel here with another episode in our series entitled Gentlemen's Rules. And in the very last video, we began talking about hats, specifically the whys of wearing a hat. And we also discussed a little bit of the recent history of hats. And I will leave a link to that video somewhere up on the screen there. In today's episode, we are going to start scratching the surface of the strategies for purchasing hats. So sit back and let's go old school cool with men's hats. I'm going to gear this video especially for you guys who are brand new to wearing grown-up hats. So let's begin at the beginning and talk about the three basic classes of hat you will need. First, the dress hat. Essentially a hat when you're wearing a suit, tie, tuxedo, something like, by way of example, this fedora, wool fedora here. The second class of hat is the casual hat. And of course this comes in many shapes and sizes, but here's a more casual Indiana Jones kind of fedora. And the third major class of hat is your work and outdoors hat. So for example, take this Filson oilcloth rain hat. So those are your three basic types. There is a huge variety of kinds and styles of men's hats on the market. In selecting a hat, you want to consider three major factors, and those are location, activity, and the weather. Different places, different cultures, different hats. So for example, if I were to go to sunny Southern California where it's laid back and wore a suit with this wool fedora, I would stick out like a sore thumb. Going to the Western United States, everyone has a cowboy hat. But wearing this in Manhattan, again, here in the New York City metro area, you stick out like a sore thumb. Next, you want to match your hat and essentially all of your clothing to your activity. Now this is pretty much common sense, but you'd be amazed at what some people do. Not too long ago, my wife and I were at the Metropolitan Opera, which is kind of torture for me, but that's another story. And anyway, just about all of the guys are in tuxedos. These are very formal events. And the jackass who sat next to me is wearing sweatpants and a ratty baseball hat. I don't know how the hell they let him in, but irrespective, one, I was a little jealous because he was comfortable and I was in a tux for 8 hours, but he looked like a damn fool. Finally, there's the weather. And again, this is pretty much common sense. If you happen to be in South Florida in the summer, you wouldn't be caught dead wearing this wool felt fedora. You would absolutely roast in this thing. So make your hat selection based on the weather. So if you're in a real hot weather climate, you can still go with a fedora, but go with a nice straw one. So there you have the very basic parameters for selecting hats. We will continue more into the nitty-gritty in future episodes, And I think in the next episode, we'll take a close look at baseball caps and trucker hats. Thanks for watching. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. Questions and enlightening comments are always welcome. Wear your hat carefully.